Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tokyo on Fire. Today is February 14th, 2017. An episode of Tokyo on Fire this week would not be complete unless we talked about the Abe-Trump summit. Dr. Nancy Snow, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Michael Cucek, thank you again. They had a love fest. He was in the middle of the diet session, went there to play golf, took his wife, a big love fest. A lot is coming out of that.
Right, and I guess it's appropriate. We're talking about it on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So they have had an interesting relationship. As we all know, there are a lot of firsts here. Abe going to see President Trump when he was president-elect within about 10 days. And then they've had phone calls, and then Abe proposed a round of golf, and
Took him up.
Trump on his own time brought him back to the winter White House in South Florida. And you mentioned Mrs. Abe. The way this was covered was fascinating to me because Japan hasn't been this important in so many years, if not decades. And credit to Abe for that.
Indeed.
Because this it wasn't about substance. It was a lot of the optics, the so-called awkward handshake, but also the hug and the bromance. I was telling the BBC News over the weekend that this is a bit of a love fest. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves because there are going to be some critical issues here. And make no mistake that Trump will win. He's all about winning. Mm-hmm. So if Japan wants to play and offer high-speed trains, whatever, they want to put Japan first. Trump's going to make sure that the U.S. is first and that Japan is probably second in any deal that they have. Right. Interesting, too, that they got over the TPP, or I should say Abe did. He sort of longed for it for about a day, and then it was on message that we're going to have a strong bilateral agreement. Mm-hmm. So far, Japan is playing from a position of strength, but also showing this friendship. And of course, with the North Korean missile launch, that joint appearance.
Brings it into focus, doesn't it?
We have not seen this. Sure. Again, it was all sort of flying over Japan for many years. Mm-hmm. When I spoke here in 2010, there was a sense of we're being forgotten somewhat with this Asian pivot. No more. So it really did impress me. But the hard work is yet to come. And of course, we've seen a Trump administration have a very, very bumpy ride in the first several weeks.
Right. I have to say that.
Not yet. Not yet. You're fake news.
Not yes. Not yet. Off the panel.
Yeah, I know. I'm the conservative, elitist, old-time person who comes in and says, "But wait."
Yes.
I would like to say that bumpiness may have played a huge part in the ease that Abe was received.
Sure.
Because he's had a hard time with other allied leaders.
Oh yeah.
And.
Yep.
Credit Son Masayoshi of SoftBank of finding the way to do the Trump visit first.
Right.
Okay, and he did it first. Go there,
bring a basket
of jobs and promises in that regard.
Much better than a basket of deplorables.
And indeed, and make that pledge believable or non-believable as it may be. Pay court to Donald Trump, say nice things. Be there for the photo op and go.
Right.
And that's what Abe did. He played his rounds of golf, not just 18 holes, but 9 holes the next day.
Yeah.
That were private.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it was a lot of his time. He loves playing golf, no question about it. He's not very good at it, even though he loves playing, whereas Donald Trump has actually got a much better handicap. But the meeting of the minds, the meeting of the administrations that Mattis first prefaced when he came here and met with Inada and also with Prime Minister Abe here in Tokyo, you cannot divorce it from the rough time that Donald Trump and his administration have had domestically.
Right.
But of course, the Trump administration and all his key players, they would say everything's going so smoothly. Mm-hmm. You'd have to tune in to Saturday Night Live to see that everything is going to hell in a handbasket.
Even as we're recording this now, though, the National Security Advisor has resigned.
Sure.
Right.
And
Flynn.
so Mr. Flynn is out, and someone else is going to be coming in.
They haven't called me yet, by the way.
I know they haven't. Right. That's okay. But they will.
I'm waiting.
I'm on hold, actually, right now. So it's hard to sort of keep track of this. Everything is changing. It's kind of flying by the seat of their pants. And Trump has been referred to as sort of the new TV president and reality TV president. But my point was that from a public diplomacy, soft power, even smart power perspective, this was a win-win, certainly for Trump and for Abe.
For Abe, I think
Golf
he played it
diplomacy.
masterfully.
We
Right.
remember the old ping pong diplomacy with China.
Well, we're reaching in the dark here.
Yeah, that's
everybody
right.
is. The Prime Minister from Canada is. He had a trip too. He wasn't invited to golf.
Yeah, but the thing is, he came in and immediately grabbed Donald Trump by the shoulder and did the manly handshake thing that Abe clearly didn't get when he did his handshake. So all the allied leaders are learning how to play the Trump game.
Sure.
And what I'm hoping is that keeps working because there's going to be a day of reckoning on both sides. Abe's coming back, and the opposition's going to grill him on what you guys talked about, and he probably will just say, we didn't talk about anything important, and I have to keep diplomatic secrets. Most likely, the former message is actually true, and that you talk about a bilateral. I don't see that bilateral happening, and I certainly don't see a commitment to it by the Japanese government. I see them still longing for that TPP.
Oh, can't they get over that?
I think I disagree.
That's
I think
so dead.
it'll be bilateral. I think that's what they talked about. I think that's what Trump is really good at. And you could see he was playing the Prime Minister. He was really kind of couching him and gently massaging him, setting him up for the deal.
Justin Trudeau.
No, the Prime Minister Abe.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I thought.
And I think the two issues that they talked about were primarily trade and secondarily defense.
Right.
And security, and of course the missile launch played into that general sense. Though again, domestically, it's not playing well for Donald Trump right now.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Right.
And so the Abe administration, when it came back, all of its hallelujah chorus here, the people who are likely to compliment him, Mr. Abe, Vice President Komura of the LDP, Secretary General of the LDP, Nikai, all clapped furiously at his return. And I think everyone, the general public opinion polls seem to agree that it went well.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That the expectations were so low.
Right.
It's building from here, as you say. That's going to be the issue.
And once again, it's really falls into your bailiwick. It's the soft power. It's the optics. It's the relationship. Actually, it's a relationship that actually is the foundation of how everything else will be decided.
Well, too, I spoke in Okinawa at the American Chamber last week, and I spoke about U.S.-Japan relations in the Trump era. And at the end of my speech, I actually gave some advice to the Prime Minister because I know he tunes in to Tokyo on Fire. And I don't know if the memo got to him, but today I'm going to reinforce that. He followed my suggestions to the T.
We all do.
Because I said that Trump and Abe, as much as possible, should spend time one-on-one because there's a tendency, I think the Japan style is to have this big team and have all these documents, and they've really done their research, and he had a lot of issues on the table. But in the end, it was really more about building that personal relation first and foremost, one-on-one. And that's what Trump likes. And he wants somebody who will negotiate from a position of strength. Right. And so Abe, in my mind, didn't come across as that desperate or in need of a quick fix.
Right.
Because Trump would really have him for lunch if that were the case.
Well, on a lot of levels, it is a new world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the way diplomacy is being held, the way the president tweets out his thoughts,
right.
and he's trying to guide public opinion, not very skillfully, but there is a big population that is following what he's tweeting.
Well, to some, it's an apocalyptic world right now in diplomacy, and to others, it is Trump doing exactly what he pledged he would do. So that's what we see in the United States now. We see a lot of applauding the way that they applauded Abe when he returned, but there's also this sustaining protest and this feeling of, my God, what have we wrought here with this president? So I didn't expect it to be this bumpy. I thought the tweeting would actually stop, too.
Right.
But Donald Trump really is true to himself. He's not going to change. He's going to be the candidate he was, and he's going to be that as president. So if you are clever and sort of maneuvering with that, then it will be to your advantage.
Right. Well, although the Japanese are frequently criticized as kowtowing to the United States, I think this trip was an acknowledgement that, yes, you're the bigger brother, we're following your lead, but we require, each other's participation, and we are a partner and we are an ally. Let's build on that.
Well, that's the way I saw it. I don't know if Michael saw it differently, but I saw it more as equal partners, because I've often been critical of this sort of U.S. dominating Japan, and I thought Japan should be more independent. But Japan, of course, Abe and Trump have a lot in common, as we know, with wanting to beef up the military.
Right.
I don't agree with that in the Japan case. I love the Japanese Constitution and Article 9, but I see that everybody's passing me by with my peace and love message. So they had these commonalities, but I thought the Gulf approach, who would have even expected that? It was perfect in that sense.
I don't know. I don't see them as equals talking. I can see the president in a completely superior role and the Japanese prime minister coming in somewhat less dominant and just a tiny bit subservient.
Lesser, more equal. Certainly the U.S. is going to be
and that's
the big
a little bit disturbing,
Yeah.
but it is the reality, and I think the optics played that out.
Well, and again, when I was in Okinawa, it came up about all of the protectionistic trade policy and hidden trade barriers, and those haven't gone away. Remember, this is the same Trump who brought up Japan over and over again.
I think it's an education for him too.
Matter in a negative light, and now it's Abe on this trip making Japan matter in a very positive light. So it's a balance, and I see some good foundation there.
Right. A high score for Prime Minister Abe on his visit to President Trump this last week. We'll continue to stay tuned on this issue, how it develops, how Japan benefits from that. Keep watching.